for taking any kind of a steps, that means how to build their company, how to do a project, how to sell their products. Every aspects totally depends upon all these set of topics, that is planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. And management you can also see as an economic resource. Management as an economic resource. So like for example we have this land, labor, the capital. Management is also as a very important factor of production. So management occupy a very central part and the very most important part among productive factors. So you have just now I told you the example of the factory, where the manpower, the money, machines, material, everything will be functional. But those will work effectively only when there is a coordination between themselves with the proper planning. So first, for example, they have, say for example, as a group of persons, the management, uh, the persons generally are called as a manager who operate at different levels of authority. That means how they have to do, what they have to do, everything the manager will actually know. So a dairy factory or dairy industry is there, from which the milk packets they have to prepare, they have to make it out. So the raw milk will be getting from the nearby the milkmen who will be there. So they will get it, and again the in charge or the superior or what we call proprietors will be there, or manager will be there. They will guide what they have to do. He will be checking each and everything what is actually going on at the dairy industries. And man will be there, manpower will be there, they have to do their own work. And many for labor work money will be there, and for machines also they have to invest money, also materials already they have. So methods, what methods they are actually following, they have to do pasteurization, homogenization, and then after milk is being filled up into the packets, they have to again dispatch it, and they have to keep it, they have to give it to the people who are actually working with these dairy industries. So every method is actually having a set of planning and proper organizing with the staffing and directing with the control. It will have a lot of economic impact. That's why it is coming under the management as a economic resources. So resources is nothing but anything which we are getting from something. Those are called as the resources. So we are fulfilling our resources, we are fulfilling our desires from them. So they are actually acting as a resources for us. So a group managers will also become a very important, and occupying such positions with enormous power is also very important, because he will be related with each and every aspect. So he must be a skillful person in doing and functioning out of this management as an academic discipline. Management in academics. Academics is nothing but schools and colleges. So we can see, generally in the management, the accountant will be there, the in charge will be there, the principal, vice principals, then correspondents, or different people will be there. So management has emerged as a specialized branch of knowledge. That is, it needs a knowledge, it needs some kind of a skill, that how to do that particular function, how to do that particular work. So proper knowledge regarding the academics is also very important. And in this case, following basic principles and following certain kind of guidelines and rules given by the universities, by the principals of this college or correspondents of this college, will definitely make the academic excellent. And management has become a very popular field of study. because especially see in this is very important in case of the institutions, educational institutions, where a great rush you can see in the some kind of schools which have very good name, like we'll having this like Delhi public school or Hyderabad public school. Such kind of schools are very motivational school, very highly good form of a education they'll be providing. And Sri Chaitanya, Narayana, such kind of colleges are also there who have a very good name, good reputation. So they are actually managing, they are doing their own set of work, following all the rules and regulations. They also are the rule makers, because for them it's the students who have to have more ranks for them. So in order to get more rank for them, what they will be doing, they will be giving more and more this study time. They will put lot of money, parents definitely put lot of money, and here for the students they are giving lot of information, they are making them to educate more amount of a good quality education they are providing. They are able to manage their management, and they are able to stand in a first position. They are getting good ranks. So all totally depends upon how the management is successful in the institutions. And management offers a very rewarding and challenging career also, from which kind of a colleges you are coming, that also play very important role. And management as a group. So management as a group. So management, that means the group of persons occupying managerial positions. So managerial skills must be there in a group. So sometimes what will happen, so when schools or colleges, we see a project will be given to a set of students in a groups form. The teacher will definitely choose any one child or any one student who is very skillful, who studies very well, who comes first or second in the class. Why they are choosing? Because he has that managerial skill. He can give the information, he can actually make his friends or classmates comfortable by by completing the project on time. And sometimes group discussions, that kind of a things are also followed by some of the education institutions. So the managerial skills, when a person develop, definitely he will succeed in managerial position. So it refers to all those individuals who perform the managerial functions. It is not only about the student, it is about also the employees who are working in the MNC companies, and all the managers. Like we have the chief executives, that is the managing director will be there, and different departments will be there. No, so for different departments, the department head will be there. So the department head means he is dealing completely with the department, and he know what is to happen, what is happening, and how it has to happen. Every information he will be having. And supervisors will be there. That means he will supervise. Supervisors means they will guide you, they will command you what to do and how to do. So all these collectively comes into this management. So this is the concept of the management in different ways. You can see management as an activity, how it is done, as in a person, as in a process, how it is useful in the organization, and in the economic resource form, how the management is actually functioning, and in the academics, how what is and what kind of a concept of the management is employed by the educational institutes for running their institutions. And in a groups, how the supervisors or the managing directors or the chief executives who are the in charge of particular organization, or for any kind of a head of department, how they are actually fulfilling their work. And along with this one, whenever the management is being dealing with any kind of a functioning, proper skills is definitely very important. So management is required in all kinds of a organization, Whether they are manufacturing computers or any kind of a handlooms, they are doing any kind of a trading in the consumer goods, or providing salon services, the hair cutting, there we can see they will provide some kind of resources, so providing salon services, etc. So no matter what the organization is or what its goal might be, but they all have something very common, and that is management and managers. So successful organization achieve their goal by following a very deliberate process, and that is nothing but management. So having the managerial skills will definitely make any company fruitful, and process effectiveness and efficiency is very necessary for proper management. Now we see some features of the management. Features are nothing but, you can say, characteristic features. What are the characteristics of a good management, you can say? So management is first of all goal oriented process. Okay, it is a goal oriented. So goal oriented process, an organization will have a set of basic goals, no, which are the basic reason for its existence. Why the organization, why the company is there? To achieve their goal, what they wanted to do, that they wanted to achieve in their life. So for example, someone say, what is your goal? What is the objective of your life? So goal means you wanted to become engineer or doctor, or you wanted to study LLB, you wanted to study this IAS, IPS, what? That is goal. So for that one, what you will do? You will be studying extensively, you will prepare yourself. All this is nothing but the goal oriented process. So an organization will have a basic goals, right? So they are functioning because they needed to fulfill their goals. And management unite the efforts of different kinds of individual in the organization. See, in the organization, when different kinds of people are there, it is not that only to fulfill the company goal they are working. Why the employees are working? To gain salary. They need salary. For them also, they have some other kind of a goal. So that is personal, that is something personal aspect. So they wanted to buy a new house, or they wanted to have more money so that they can make their children to study. That is personal goals, personal objectives of the employee. That means every employee who are working in a organization, everyone will have their own kind of a goal. So achieving the goals, not only the companies but the person's, the employee's personal goal is also comes under this goal oriented process. And management is a goal oriented in nature, and it works only to achieve particular goal which is decided by the organization. Is, of course, when the organization says something, the management has to work according to that, and the functions and activities of a manager leads to achievement of a organizational objectives. So the management always try to fulfill goal of organization, For example, if the objective of a company is to sell 1,000 computers they wanted to sell, then the manager will plan the course of action. What he will do, he will motivate all the employees and organize all the resources, keeping in mind the main target of selling 1,000 computers. That means he will guide the employees. Then this, the course of action means how they have to do. The course of action, he will motivate the employee, that means commandment, and organize all the resources, that means what is actually necessary for the making of these computers. That one, keeping in mind the main target of selling the 1,000 computers, how he wanted to sell that 1,000 computers. He must have a very good platform, very good opening for this computers. What he will do, all those things is goal oriented. The management is goal oriented process. Then second one is management is universal process. Management is a universal process. It's a universal phenomenon. What is a universal? Generally means universal means definitely no change in that, right? It is universal, so you cannot change it. And this management, which is it is used in the form of a phenomenon. Phenomenon means anything which is actually done in a process form. So the use of management is not only restricted to only in the business organization. We are not seeing only the management, the word management, we don't see generally only in the business, only in the market, only in the schools and colleges. And it is not restricted to business firms only, it is applicable in profit making, non-profit making business or non-business organizations also. See, management is not related only for the profit of the firm or profit of the organization. It is not functioning only for the profit purposes, not only for the business purposes. You can also see some kind of a non-profit, non-businessing organizations also, which run only for the purpose of public. For example, you have this NGO. The NGOs which are there, they are actually one kind of a funded. These are funded by the government, or these are funded by the public or people who have the interest of donating the money. They are working for some cause, like for example for small children, giving them a well balanced diet. If generally small children suffer from malnutrition, so to give for supplying enough of nutritious food for them, they will use all these funds and they will give them the food in the form different forms. It may be any kind of a food packets, or it may be like any kind of a milk products, or any kind of a powder forms which is generally given to the small childrens. I'm talking about the infants who suffer from any kind of a malnutrition, especially in the village areas. And for this kind of a people who are actually handicapped, such kind of a people. So non-profitable NGO will be also there. And even the hospitals which are there, some kind of a clubs will be working. I'm talking about clubs which work for human purposes. So some people will like this humanity, and they have the service to humanity. So for humanity purposes also, a non-profitable clubs or non-profitable organization or a firms will be working, and whatever money they are getting, they will try to help these poor people to overcome. So that is also included in case of this case. So that's why I'm telling this management is universal. You can see everywhere. And for that also, but in these cases also, properly you have to manage. You must have the management skills properly. And so the concept of this management is also being used, especially in the UK, US countries, and even in the India also we are seeing this kind of a management. Then the third thing we come, management is a multidisciplinary. Multidisciplinary. You can also call it as a multidimensional also. Dimensions mean different forms. So it is multi-dimensional or multidisciplinary. That means you can see in the every fields or in every stages you can also see. So generally we have three main activities included in this case that we will actually see in the next classes.